Hello, Tony here from Lightwave Digital. Today, because we're getting near to Halloween, I thought we'd do a very simple and quick pumpkin. So, we're going to start with clicking on the ball tool and pressing N on your keyboard for numerical. And I'm just going to change the size to 26, and that's it. We'll just leave it the same size. I know it's a big pumpkin, it's going to be a metre, but we'll stick with that. Okay, so next, let's select the points at the top and the bottom like this of your ball. Then go to multiply chamfer, and then we're going to chamfer out an area like this. Okay, press space bar and then make sure you're on polygons at the bottom, and let's reselect the two new polys like so. Then we'll use smooth shift and let's pull them in a bit to about here. And while they're selected, let's go to more and make pole. So now we've gone and put back in the actual edges like so. Okay, so the next bit is we're going to switch to edges, and we're going to select every other top two edges like this. To the select drop down and select at the top loop, so you get it looped all the way around. But what I don't want is I don't want the top inside edges here, so deselect the edges inside of the top and the bottom here, so you're not actually got these selected. So what we've got is just the loops of the sides like so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the modify size at the bottom, click on local, and then let's click and drag out or in. It's up to you, out or in. Let's go in like so. So you've kind of got this like so. Then we're going to press space bar and forward slash to drop it, and then you're going to press the tab key to sub patch it and make it smooth like so. Let's right mouse click and lasso round the points here, not the bottom ones, we'll leave them like that. And then what we can do with these is we can pull them in, you know, squishing it a little bit more like so. Also, let's use the stretch tool and let's squish the whole thing because they're not perfectly round. So you've got something like this. And at the bottom, what we could do is, if you zoom in, we could again select these ones here, these points or polys like so. Let me just deselect the top one, and if you want you could just use a move tool. You can pull this up and in a little bit like so. So this is what we've got so far. Cool. So next, the stalk. Let's make a little stalk for it. So I'm going to select all the polys that make up the top bit here, the inside bit. Can you see? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the detail tab and merge them. So you've got one poly like so. Then I'm going to, on my keyboard, Control X to cut it, and then in my layers, Control V to paste it. And then I'm going to put the body of the pumpkin in the background. Then I'm simply going to go to multiply, magic bevel, and in the side view, let's just pull up and twist round what we think will be okay for the actual pumpkin. And I'm not going to I can mess about with this tool a bit more, but I'm just going to keep it very simple like that. And then what I can do is I'll just cut it on the layers and paste it back into the original, so we've kind of got this pumpkin. Okay, so next what I want to do is I want to boolean out a face on here, but you can't really boolean on sub patch, so we've got to freeze it. But before we do that, let's just give it some thickness. So first thing I'm going to do, I don't want to get the stalk any thickness, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to selections and connected, so I've got it all, and then I'm going to go to select inverse a selection. And once I've got this inverse selection chosen, I'm going to go to multiply, thicken, and let's just thicken it a little bit, and then press space bar to say I'm done like so. which is pretty cool. And then what we could do is just go to construct and then freeze, so it then froze the actual object. So it's removed the sub patch, and now we can kind of do a boolean out of it. So for the next part you need an EPS. So I went on the internet and I just searched EPS pumpkin face mask, or you could put in silhouette, and you find one quite easily. So we'll go on a new layer, put your pumpkin in the background, we'll go to the IO tab, EPS loader. Let's go on to fine, close polys, drill any holes, and then let's choose my EPS like so. Now depending on the size, obviously it's come through quite big, which is alright. Let's just go and modify size. Let's size it down using the actual mouse option in the action center here, and let's size it down to where I think I want it to be, and the size I want it to be, like so. As you can see, like this. Let's make it a tiny bit smaller, and then let's just thicken it so it goes through. We need to make sure it's going through both of the walls of the pumpkin, like so. We switch the layers around, so we're using the negative layer, which is the one in the background, to cut from the positive. So then we just go to construct, boolean, subtract, and then what we've got is this, like so. So let's just quickly texture it. So I'm going to select one poly of the stalk like I did before, selections, connected, and then inverse the selection. And let's just go to the top view, make it UV, and let's just UV it. And it's gonna go to UV. We'll leave it as texture. We'll put spherical. Let's have a look what it looks like. And this is what we kind of get, which I'm happy with. It'll be fine. We'll drop the selection, and then what we'll do is, in fact, let's go back to that selection. Oh no, we can leave it like this. Let's just press Q on a keyboard. Let's call this pumpkin. We'll go into the surface editor. Here's our pumpkin. We'll double click it. From the drop down 2D texture, we're adding an image. We're slotting the image node into the color. We're going to go to the side here, or if it's not open, there's a little arrow here, and then we're just going to load in a pumpkin. And for the mapping, look at the bottom. All we need to do is say it's UV, and there's the UV we're using, and we've kind of got our pumpkin there now. Now the only other thing I could do is I would select the top polys for the stalk, Q on your keyboard, give it another name. We'll just make it like a brownie colour for the time being, and we can add you can always add another texture to it at a later date. But basically what you've got now is you've got your starting point for your pumpkin, like so, that you can then go in and start playing around in layout with. And obviously you can, I think we'll just put smoothing on so it's a bit smooth for both, and so on. And there you have the basic pumpkin. So thanks for listening.